up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Podcast, episode 225. I'm here with Griffin,
I'm here with Trav.
And I'm here with Adam.
and this week we watched The Suicide Squad.
Not Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I apologize ahead of time if you guys hear a lot of fan in the background. It's a muggy evening over here.
Shit, I got mine running too.
I thought you meant fan, like somebody was
Yeah.
in the background, like, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was gret. It's like,
Oh
it's like,
man.
there's a lot of fan back here.
I'd purposely be like, man, it wasn't that good. Like
Just to get them riled up.
it is a good movie, but shit.
Yeah, calm down. Shit.
Put the banners down. Shit. Peacemaker ain't got a gun to your head yet.
Or a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the follow-up to the, 2015, 2014, 2013, 2016?
Yep.
2016 Suicide Squad with Margot Robbie and Will Smith and a bunch of other motherfuckers. And, we've talked about, like, the original Suicide Squad. David Ayer had a specific vision in mind. They recut the movie because of a trailer.
It's on the trailer.
And, yeah, and we got what we got.
Could I interject long enough to be like, hey, that trailer would have been perfect for this is the movie I thought that trailer was going to convey.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, but yeah.
So we can't even knock on him too hard because we know what happened there.
Yeah, exactly.
They fucked this movie up.
Well, that was studio interference is basically what happened there.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but you're fucking the movie up. But then it's like they got the guy that did Guardians of the Galaxy and they're like, look, lean into it and have fun with it,
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
Well, what we got was Guardians of the Galaxy with a hard R.
Yeah, rated R.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
And I think it's also, this movie is absolutely like Deadpool. It's testament that some comic book properties, they can be better films with that R-rated buffering.
Since the Pandy, this is the highest grossing R-rated movie.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, with good reason. It's got all the hallmarks of what the mainstream wants, coupled with what fans of the properties are kind of like, like the people who are so far along and so embedded in this comic book culture that we've got now that, we get it,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, like,
well,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, it's like they're finally, I don't know about WB, but it feels like that comic book movies as a whole has been around long enough to where it's like, okay, I understand, like, the person that's coming in is like, I understand source material. I understand, what to go with it, especially with like the DC TV series stuff. They're like, we know the message and the feelings that we want to convey with it, and we're gonna double down on that. Because when you watch Flash or Arrow or anything like that, there's a very specific feeling that you get from watching those. It's completely opposite of the same feeling that you get from Doom Patrol. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seems like comic book movies as a whole has been around long enough, and there's been enough, not a lot, but there's been enough that's pushed the envelope so that people can come in and do something like this.
Absolutely. I do think that this is going to be what, I guess, I don't know. I feel like it's a lightning in a bottle moment for DC. It just is coincidentally at the hands of James Gunn again.
Yeah.
I don't see them milking this style of, which it's the filmmakers, style, obviously, but they're gonna, I guess with it not making the numbers, I don't see why corporate suit and tie people would be going for it. But I feel like a lot of the marketing people and a lot of the underlings under these guys are gonna really be thinking like, okay, this movie is successful in terms of the fans, and let's try to milk this formula again.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not going to necessarily happen, because I feel like no matter how many successes that DC and Warner Brothers will make from decisions like this, that I don't think they'll ever really learn and they'll always have that studio meddling involved.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Well, we'll get more of this with the Peacemaker show.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, anybody that want a little bit more, there's a show. Check it out. January 2020.
Yeah.
It does, like, as much as you know, a comic property is built for sequels. I really hope we don't get any more follow-ups to this movie. I think if we tried to go round 2 outside of the Peacemaker show, which some of the stuff I've read suggests that it's going to still stay true to how he's portrayed in the film, but there is going to be a little more toned down approach to him
Right.
in the show, obviously.
Yeah.
But as far as like Suicide Squad 2, and we basically get the same movie with a new villain, it would really ruin the charm of this movie.
Yeah. Well, and if they're gonna do a sequel, they need to do the same exact thing that they did with this. They need to have the core elements the same, and they need to bring a whole different team of villains in, and just roll with it that way. Because I think, to me, like the only reoccurring character that you have is Harley Quinn. Everybody else, for the most part, is new characters. So, and she's even said that, like, I'm kind of done with the whole Harley Quinn thing.
Yeah, she's done with the
So,
Joker.
Well,
yeah,
she's done 3 films now as Harley Quinn, and you know, I mean, dude, she made a lot of money off that character, and her popularity, in terms of like consumer stuff and just how she
yeah,
became a brand out of
yeah,
Harley Quinn. She managed to do in 3 films what a lot of actors have taken several more to achieve that.
yeah,
Uh,
decades.
yeah, like she pulled a Robert Downey Jr. with Harley Quinn. Like that's going to be what she's thought of. Obviously, if the inevitable recast happens, people are going to be like, it's going to suck. Whoever, whatever new chick they get to come along. But I don't know. I think it's a smart move for her to walk
Well,
away because
she's playing Harley Quinn again.
this is the best version of Harley Quinn that we've seen so far.
She's gonna be in the Gotham City Sirens. That's been announced.
Well, that's the follow up to Birds of Prey, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
it's 3 women, notorious,
Yeah.
criminal.
Right.
I still
Yeah.
haven't watched Birds of Prey.
Me neither.
Normally in the past, I watched a little bit of it with the kids because they, they're girls. Harley Quinn, 1+1, you know.
Quick
Um,
maths.
uh, and it's still the same old shit from the first Suicide Squad movie. This one, like I said, the way that that Margot Robbie played her in
Mhm.
this version was definitely the best, and it's because it wasn't
She wasn't the
her.
main character.
She had a good. This movie had such a good cast that everyone was able to play their character to a degree that it didn't felt like she was, like, in Suicide Squad, and as well as I guess Birds of Prey. I would assume with the latter, um, she carried those films.
Yeah.
She didn't have to in this one. She got to just
No.
be able to play her character, and it worked well. I thought the scene with her hitting her bloodlust, like when it goes through the roof to where the blood turns into flowers, and she's
Yeah.
just, that was fucking cool, dude.
Little rabbits and stuff following her. And
Yeah,
that was cool.
kind of like when you play those video games where you have like a sanity meter, quote unquote,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you reach that threshold where your dude's just fucking just like, I'm on a killing spree. Like she fucking hit a killtrocity, and it just went psychedelic as fuck for her,
Yeah.
This movie took me
it's
for a surprise though. At the beginning, like they do we recruit everyone, and well, they just show them going in, and then they kill half of them, and it's like, what?
Yeah, they get
what just
and
happened?
like you're saying, they did they were able to cram in the cold opening all the bullshit you needed to know from movie 1.
Savant list with Johnny Cash playing Folsom Prison Blues.
Yeah.
Did y'all notice he killed
and
that bird, and then the little yellow bird was eating his brains later?
Yeah.
That was funny.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, whenever his body's floating in the
That's
water,
cool.
a little yellow bird
Oh.
lands on him and picks a piece of his brain out and eats it.
That's
And
hilarious.
it's like, ha ha, motherfucker.
I was a lot of people were disappointed in that opening shot. I was surprised because I guess because some of the actors that their purpose was to just show you,
Yeah,
hey,
there's more
anyone
of
can
these
die.
characters, and well, like, dude,
Uh,
Viola Davis was smiling while they were
but I
dying.
was always under the because I'm this is another comic property where I didn't read a whole lot of it. I'm aware of some of the characters because of who they're the villains of, but I was never someone that just like went for the next Suicide Squad issue. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of new stuff for me watching it, and I guess that's where I enjoyed a lot of it as well. Um, but the thing I've always understood with the Suicide Squad is it has it the best example that I can think of to compare it to is Aeon Flux, and I don't know if y'all remember that, but it's that old ass anime top show that came on MTV back in
Yeah,
the
I
day where
remember
it's
it.
the chick.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the whole thing about Aeon Flux is that she dies in every episode
yeah,
in some gnarly fucking way. And I was always under the impression that that's kind of how the Suicide Squad comics played out is that, you know, this ridiculous story that they've got a mission that they got to go do is Task Force X, and it usually ends with several members or the whole team dying.
It's a suicide
And
mission.
and it never happened in the first movie. Everyone had plot armor, and I
yeah,
thought we were going to get that again when we see that shot where people are just getting lit the fuck up on the beach, but for
Nah,
some reason Harley Quinn was able to just prance her way up to the fucking
Javelin.
explosion. Yeah. And so I was like, oh God, here we go.
Did that beach scene,
But
man, fucking TDK?
that was
When he
cool.
stood up and he was like, all right, he sent his arms out and they were going all slow and shit. And then he just starts smacking the guys in the face, and it's like, that's it.
Oh, well,
He
here's the
lit
funny
his
part.
ass up.
Um,
He's still
my
alive, by
kids,
the way.
my kids tried to uh get in on it, and I'm not gonna disclose which one, but one of them happened to be a Pete Davidson fan.
Hmm.
oh
I
God.
had to rewind that and watch it again.
Oh, dude,
When he blew
when
his
it
face
happened,
off.
when it happened, the kid got up and left the room. Like they were done with it. They were like, fuck this movie.
Mhm.
They were like, my favorite character, or what I thought was going to be my favorite character, has died before we even saw the opening title card.
Well, it makes
And I'm,
sense why we never saw any of them in the trailer footage.
yeah,
We didn't see
right.
Javelin. Like, we only saw them all, like, getting on. Remember they're doing the walking scene where they were coming together? Because whenever
yeah.
you see, like, when you got fucking Falula Borg playing Javelin, like, I never saw him in the trailer other than them walking.
Can
But
we
they
can we
let you
take
know real quick, like,
can we take a minute to appreciate the subtle yet outrageous comedy of that, which is the Weasel?
yeah, that's
That was fucking
Sean
genius.
Gunn played that part.
Yeah.
James's
Oh,
brother.
yeah. That was funny seeing him too in the back whenever they're in prison and
Dude,
he's
him
talking
licking that
shit.
window was hilarious.
Oh man. Oh dude, whenever Savant's in the water and all you hear is and he fucking hits the
He's
ground
like,
and
the
shit.
weasel's dead.
I thought it was funny that they went back and showed that Weasel had just been unconscious the
Yeah.
whole goddamn
Well, what
movie.
was funny was when he raises up too, it's a full moon.
Yeah.
And remember what Pete Davis said when they were in the plane? He was like, is he a werewolf? So whenever he rises at the end, there's like a full moon behind him, and
and, and I mean, dude, I really felt myself enjoying these characters a lot
enjoyed
more than
it.
I thought I would.
Yeah, for sure,
Um,
man.
I mean, I think for all the good stuff that this movie has, and we're clearly getting to, I guess to go ahead and get out of the way though, the movie didn't have much of a plot. Like, not really. It was storm the beach, don't die, kill everything, and then suddenly starfish.
Yeah. Kill everyone, kill the damn team that's trying to help you.
I mean,
When they kill
it's called this.
everybody in that little outpost,
Oh,
why
dude,
did
it
my
was the
people,
resistance fighters.
bro, did you expect to see that dick flopping on the screen?
No.
Didn't expect to see that. I was like, all right, we got a dick.
But I mean,
Okay.
outside of that though, I mean, which that could probably be rebutted with just the fact that it's a movie called The Suicide Squad. What'd you expect?
Yeah. And they
But
really leaned into it.
but as far as like There were no MacGuffins. I guess if you want to call the Thinker a MacGuffin,
Yeah.
he was their way into Jotunheim. But for the most part, like the movie didn't have a lot really going on other than we have such a tremendous amount of characters and actors playing it that like let's just balls to the wall action, which it definitely achieved that.
Yeah, bro. What did he say to? He's like, what did he say? He's like, whenever it's badass. What was that line?
He's like, there's no need to be a show off. He's like, unless what you're showing off is dope as fuck.
And he's right. Damn, he's right. Their
Um,
their chemistry and their back and forth was great.
Yeah.
oh,
it
absolutely,
was.
It
dude.
was so
Idris
good.
Elba. I was surprised that Elba didn't phone it in.
Yeah.
I
Oh, he
was
was
really
in.
thinking. I was thinking that was going to happen. And I mean, can we say, or can we at least be in agreement on the fact that Bloodsport's his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I want the movie where Bloodsport shoots Superman.
Yeah, because
right.
they said that's what he was locked up for.
Well, I mean, the cool thing is like that's. I mean, and dude, if you're gonna have someone be the baddest motherfucker in terms of a villain, I mean that kind of takes the cake, man. I've never heard of Bloodsport, and I feel like I'm losing Superman cred on it, but very much I want to see that. And I was like, it's kind of crazy that the one of the coolest pieces of DC canon that we have now is something we ain't even seen. Or it's the fact that it happened lets us know that like somewhere between Justice League and Suicide Squad, him and Superman had a scuffle, and Bloodsport almost fucking killed him.
Yeah.
He almost got him, dude, and I want to see that movie.
Right, for sure, right. I wasn't expecting them to go the whole Starro
I mean,
route.
dude, they leaned into it.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, dude,
you're
that pitch
right.
meeting, he was like, they get there, big starfish. They're like, what? That sounds crazy. He's like, it's a comic book movie.
Yeah, let's go
Okay.
with it. Yeah.
I loved Starro's final words, man.
Yeah.
He was like, I was happy, just floating, staring at the stars. Like,
Yeah.
just why didn't y'all leave me the fuck alone?
They
Yeah.
kind of shit on America a little bit, didn't they? They were like we turned out to be.
Yeah.
Well, you remember that scene where they're in the shuttle and they're all grouped around him, like taking pictures with him?
Yeah.
Do y'all remember those photos from that prison where the U.S. soldiers were taking pictures with they were like torturing them and shit?
Yeah.
That's
Like
what they
Guantanamo
took that
Bay.
from. Yeah, that's what that was. And it's just like it when you look at it. It's like, yeah, they're like smiling and putting cigarette in his mouth,
Yeah.
Well, I always thought it was funny. I definitely can see that in there for sure. But I chalked it up to like, you know how in those international style movies they always like write off the Russians or the Chinese or whatever
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
power from over there. They're always like stupid Americans. They can't surpass German engineering. You know, like you know what I mean, shit like that. And I wrote that moment off as like them being like, look at the Americans. They didn't even take safety precautions. They put it on their fucking boat or their ship. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, for sure, man. Like, I'm sure through the right lens you could be like, man.
Well,
But
what I'm
I
talking
will
about, I read
say,
that's what they were trying to do with that. That's
that's
yeah,
for
that's
real
that.
inspiration.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Them all gathered around it,
damn,
taking pictures. Like, yeah, yeah. I saw that somewhere. I didn't just come up with that.
that's
Y'all remember at
which
the
I mean,
end of the
it's not a big
2016
stretch though, you know.
Suicide Squad, Viola Davis, like, remember that cruise she had? She shot everybody,
Yeah.
and she threatened that one guy. He was like, do you really want to do something like that? And she's like, you don't know what I would do.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a threat.
Well, and that's like the Suicide. If they decide to do another Suicide Squad film, I would love to see them bring a whole new crew of villains in there and actually have the villains from that movie seek out, like, let's say, like Harley Quinn, and this is just kind of spitballing. let's say Harley Quinn and Bloodsport and a couple other people get out, right? Like they work their sentence off and that's the end of it. This is the new crew. Well, they find some way to deactivate that shit. And then they start rounding the rest of the villains that were part of the Suicide Squad up that actually lived. And then they're going after Viola Davis. Then she like is in trouble and actually calls heroes in to help protect. You know what I'm saying? Like it, like her, because she's
we'll build up to a Justice League versus Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, but not have it like so grand or anything like that. More or less have like maybe some of the Justice League or somebody like that show up and then be like, look, you don't understand what she's doing to people. Like she's exploiting us.
I mean, she was
like
gonna let that whole city die.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I mean, and yeah, that would
just
be
to protect
I mean,
the secrets.
I mean, it would be badass to have, you could do that with some lesser known street level heroes and have it be just a group that's headed off by like, I don't know, Aquaman and Flash.
Yeah, yeah.
And have them be the big, at least the heavy hitters of the teams,
The first time I saw that mechanical drive when they were fighting over it bounce off the floor, I was like, that's useless.
Right.
That ain't gonna work.
I was thinking the
It was
same
a mechanical
thing.
drive too. It wasn't SSD.
No.
It was like a laptop hard drive.
You're like, that's
broken.
not how hard drives work.
Yeah. I didn't at the end. Didn't Bloodsport tell her like we're all gonna go free or this stuff gets leaked?
Yeah.
So they didn't go back to jail.
Right.
Okay.
That's what it leads you to believe.
Yeah.
So was fat guy in a chair? Was that Jason Sudeikis in body makeup?
Fat guy in a chair.
The guy in the control room with Waller, like the big guy throughout the movie.
No. That's
because I swear up and down he sounded just like Sudeikis, and the only reason I pulled that is because I got some folks in the house currently watching The Last Man on Earth again.
Yeah.
And that was one of the last episodes when he showed up. Well, apologies to that guy, but I mean, hell, I just said he's like Jason Sudeikis, so I guess it's a compliment.
It is a compliment. Because if you look at his credits, he's kind of nobody. Go back to maybe they'll pick up on that in the John Cena show. Dude, he was so funny.
It looks like he's filming it with him.
Yeah, he's in the show. But you know, they may want him to go out and like retrieve that hard drive or.
Oh,
I feel like he's gonna come out of that different.
Fun fact here in his credits, because I'm looking at him on that link you dropped at him. He was the stand-in for King Shark until they CGI'd it in.
Okay, until they added Sylvester Stallone's voice to it.
Yeah, I guess he was. I guess they made him the mocap.
Yeah.
You know?
How funny was that, man?
That was awesome,
dude. When he runs after those fish in the goddamn aquarium.
Yeah. Well, dude, they're trying to blow the building up, and he's just wandering off. Ooh, what's up here?
I love it when he makes the little clay fucking dude.
He's like, don't look anything like me. It's good, but put it in the wall. He was trying to be nice to him. That was funny, man.
Come on, dude.
When they're in the nightclub fucking shit up, and he's sitting out there in the van just breathing.
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
You could hear the music.
I thought that dude that did Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, I was just about to drop some images.
He low key stole the show.
Yeah, for me, he did.
How fucking funny, dude.
When he turns, when it shows everybody as his fucking mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when he's dancing, and if you look real close on that girl's shoulder, the rat even has glasses on.
Oh my god!
Like they made the rat look like his mom.
They went deep with it, right?
Yeah, he had some issues.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he did kind of get fucked over, though.
He did.
But it's cool, like, the way that his powers work and shit. He's, like, the most badass motherfucker, legit. You know, like,
Well, and then when they were in the room, he was like, he's like, we're all gonna die, and he was like, I hope so, and he did.
Yeah,
he saved the day, blowing that damn thing's leg off.
Oh man, he had it kind of hard. It made me think of that scene from Super.
Yes.
Where Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page,
Uh-huh.
Where they're hunkered down while they're taking gunfire, and she peeked, man, she peeked, and she takes a bullet to the fucking head out of nowhere in the movie, and you're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's that kind of movie. It gave me vibes of that whenever he kind of had his moment.
Yeah, he was like, you motherfucker,
and he was like,
smack.
And you start seeing, when you see him take out one of Starro's legs, you're like, oh shit, Polka Dot Man for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's like smack, smear, and you're like, okay, guess not.
Num nums. That thing's num nums.
That actor's underrated, man.
He is.
And he's been in a shit ton of DC films. Like,
I think the first time I saw him, he was in the Joker movie.
I saw him in the like he's the crazy person that was like, whenever he sabotages
like laughing and shit,
the fucking the funeral procession or whatever.
Yeah, I always remember him from that scene.
And he always plays like some sort of like disgruntled Russian.
Num nums.
Yeah, I thought it was a fucking great, and like James Gunn, like he really leaned into it. He really knew the characters and brought in a team of people that actually knew the characters and knew how to really, I don't know, bring them to life. I guess you make them more 3-dimensional, and you felt like, you know, and that's the way the Suicide Squad movie needs to be. These are bad guys. They're not good people by any stretch of the imagination. You know what I mean?
No.
So let's portray bad people being bad people. And like, even bad people, you can kind of be like, well, that's kind of fucked up, because there's always going to be somebody worse, you know?
So when the rats come in at the end,
oh, that was crazy.
The composer for the film, I can't remember his name. So you remember the scene where he like covers at her and they're all sitting there and the rats just go over them.
Yeah.
So the song playing there was called Raptism. Because it was like a baptism of the rats. Yeah.
That
was the song they wrote for that part. Those rats fucked that star up, dude.
Yeah, they did.
Because I'm over here like, what are you going to do with rats? And then when they all rolled up in the jungle, it's like, okay. You might have something. How dark was that shit with their dad? He's like got a needle hanging out of his arm.
Yeah, that was fucking nutty,
they took it there. But at the same time, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was. It was fantastic, man. I fucking loved it so much.
Way more than I thought I was. He said fucking tidy whities. He said, that's racist. He's like, they're wide and they're tight.
I mean, like you guys said earlier, I could probably watch him and Idris Elba fucking riff on each other for like 2 hours and call it Suicide Squad, and I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I want that buddy comedy.
Yeah. I always thought it would be cool if they find a way to pair them back up together somehow, like reluctantly, like, because, you know, of course you saw the end credit scene and everything. So what if they like have to reluctantly pair up together, and it's like, well, you fucking shot me. Like, that adds an extra level of like, fuck you to it, you know?
Yeah. With the little bullet.
He
did, like, he flipped it on him.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Let's talk about his fucking Swiss Army suit. He just kept pulling shit off that suit, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, damn, okay. See, I thought he was playing the Will Smith character.
No,
but then when you start watching the movie, it's like, no, he's a completely different character.
Yeah, he said that he wouldn't come back and do it. Like, he wouldn't play Will Smith they would that in order for him to do the film, they would need to like introduce a new
Yeah,
character
he
for
didn't
him
want
to
to
play,
replace him.
and that made sense, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, because it was like a continuation. I mean,
Yeah,
it was part 2.
yeah. And what's great is like they could continue making those if they wanted to, and have a whole different cast every time, and not have any relation whatsoever with the previous one.
Yeah.
Especially now that Flag's dead, like the only like key ingredient that they would need would be
Viola
Waller.
Davis. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
She's the only one. She's a bitch.
Yeah, fuck her.
It was fun. It was good when they
Fucking
knocked her out at the end, though.
yeah, I
I was
enjoyed
happy
that.
about that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, man.
I'm gonna give it a full star. I fucking
star,
loved it
dude.
from beginning to end. Yeah.
Full star.
What you got, Trav?
I mean, it deserves a full star. I don't know, man. I give it a full star. I liked it enough. It kept me entertained, and as much at the point where I would pick anything on it, I'd be pulling straws, man.
Right.
But yeah, full star, dude. Good movie. It was
Certainly an up.
an upgrade for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we got a little bit of movie news here. I think Trav dropped this in here. So James Gunn movies last because they're seen on television, not in the movie theater. Says here, Suicide Squad underwhelmed at the box office this weekend, but HBO Max chief Andy Forsell told The Hollywood Reporter that the R-rated DC Comics tentpole became the second most viewed film over an opening weekend on HBO Max since we began day-to-date releases with theaters. Like all of Warner Bros. Films released in 2021. The Suicide Squad launched in theaters the same day it became available to stream on HBO Max for 31 days. How does Gunn feel about the film debuting on a streaming service? I don't really care that much. Jesus. He said, I really just care about whatever the project is in front of me, Gunn said. Suicide Squad is made to be seen first and foremost on a big screen. I think it's going to work just fine on television. Listen, movies don't last because they're seen on the big screen. Movies last because they're seen on television. Jaws isn't still a classic because people are watching it in theaters. I've never seen Jaws in a movie theater. It's one of my favorite movies. Gunn is next movie. Yeah, right. Gunn is next moving to television with HBO Max's Peacemaker series, a continuation of his Suicide Squad movie that centers on John Cena's character. Says working on Peacemaker series taught him that he can be equally happy working in TV as he can making movies. And in fact, in some ways, I'm more comfortable in television because I get more time to focus on the characters. I don't feel so pressured to move to the next scene and the next scene and the next scene, Gunn said. I also don't want the theatrical experience to die. I don't know I don't know if that is possible, but we also don't know what's going to happen. We've still got COVID because people won't get vaccinated, which, you know, they should. Hopefully, that will not be a big deal to us this year. And if that's the case, what's going to happen? We don't know. Nobody knows. I care because I would rather have people be able to go to the movies, but also if they don't, I'm not going to slip my wrists. I don't care that much. I mean, he just kind of lays it out there, don't he? So.
He's right, though.
Yeah, right. I never really thought about it that way, though, you know? Like, I've never seen Jaws in theaters or Ghostbusters or any classic like that, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, just thought it was a pretty interesting point from someone who, by all means, is in a position to kind of chime in like everybody else on the matter of streaming versus theatrical releases and, the in between, which I think we covered it last week, but Warner Brothers and HBO reached an agreement now to where starting next year, the slate will be they get 30 days in the theater, 30 to 45 days in the theater by itself, exclusive, and then it'll start streaming, which is not that long of a wait, really.
No, that's kind of
No,
like what we talked
because
about before we wanted.
because usually in those first few weeks, that's when you're going to make the bulk of your money
Yeah.
anyway in the
Yeah.
theatrical, market.
Give it about a month.
But they did come to an agreement on that. I did see that somewhere.
All right. So next up, we have some Sonic the Hedgehog news here. Idris Elba teases Knuckles' role in Sonic movie sequel.
This dropped at 3:18 today.
Crazy,
on his Twitter.
right?
Knock knock.
Yeah, not motherfucker.
Which is gonna be fucking hilarious hearing Idris Elba as fucking Knuckles. I don't think like this next movie should be pretty goddamn hilarious.
Yeah. It says that Elba teased his role in the Sonic sequel by posting a shot of Knuckles' iconic spike glove on Twitter with a caption referencing the character's oft-memed Sonic Adventure theme. The news has yet to be announced officially, but it seems like it's only a matter of time.
He's just blowing up, ain't he?
Good for
I mean,
him.
with Idris Elba as Knuckles, Jim Carrey as the fully visualized Robotnik now. I mean, this movie's got a good chance of being a hilarious family movie.
Just as good as the first one.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, man, Sonic, that first one surprised me, I wasn't expecting what I got and was somewhat satisfied, which I mean, I don't know, I can't remember if all three of us went in with little to no expectations. I know none of us went in with like, oh my God, this is going to be great.
Yeah.
But we all definitely approached it as, okay, here's a video game turned into a movie. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I just think the Sonic movie and probably the sequel as well, it's going to show you that the classic characters of video games like Sonic, Mario, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, those types of characters, they belong in this Pixar DreamWorks style of
that
filmmaking.
animation,
Like it's perfect for that. And that's where those movies have a home where we can, once you go above the E for everyone rating on these video games, that's when you get into the grim dark territory where you could make a gritty war film like Gears of War or something, But like these friendly properties and like that, I think it's the best move rather than, a repeat of Super Mario Brothers, which no hate on that film. That was part of my childhood, but it is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we got what we got out of it, Next up, Wolverine. No Wolverine cameo in Deadpool 3. Someone better tell Ryan Reynolds. Says don't count on that Wolverine cameo in Deadpool 3. For nearly 2 decades, Hugh Jackman famously starred as the X-Men fan favorite in a series of Marvel movies, some of which put Logan in the lead. Jackman said goodbye to the role following Logan in 2017, but given the establishment of the multiverse in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the possibility is always there for Jackman's Wolverine to pop up again at some point, even if it's just for a cameo appearance. For better or for worse, it doesn't look like this is going to end up happening. In a new interview with Jake's Takes on YouTube, Hugh Jackman speaks candidly about his thoughts on portraying Wolverine for 17 years. When directly asked by host Jake Hamilton if there's any possible way Logan might return under the multiverse umbrella, with Jackman back in the role someday in the future, Jackman offered this candid response. The fact that I'm hearing about this from you and there's nothing in my inbox from Kevin Feige means it's probably, no matter what idea I came up with, not on the table. Let's just be clear there. Now, I realized before we shot Logan, I was like, we got the idea. We knew it was going to be we knew it was going to be ish, and I thought that is it, and that really helped me. It really helped knowing I wasn't going into my last season, that it was my last season, that I made the most of it. It's a character. It's still a character I hold close to my heart, but I know it's done. Tell that to whoever you want, but please tell it to Ryan Reynolds because he doesn't believe it. He thinks I'm joking.
And this could all be a big lie.
Most
Could
definitely,
be.
right? Yeah.
And I think whether it is or not, I think we have Loki to thank, if anything, is by doing the smartest move Marvel could do. And it's they were able to make everything ever moving forward and from the past, all the Marvel properties we've ever watched, it's all canon.
Yeah.
They not only did they not make not only did Loki make the MCU no longer this singular linear story that's unfolding now, they also were able to make it to where you don't have to rely on, it's laying the groundwork for us to not have to wait 20 films to see a payoff against the big bad anymore.
Yeah.
I think that's done. We'll never have something like the Infinity Saga like that anymore. But they made it to where cameos are irrelevant in a way. And maybe I'm doing a lot of mental gymnastics with it, but because of Loki and because of the TVA, no matter what property you're watching now, it's a variant.
Yeah.
You're
Exactly.
This
watching
is a good
you're
way to do
watching
that.
you're watching an alternate version of a Marvel character, and it's canon. It's taking place in another universe.
Yeah.
They were able to actually, get on screen and give us the dialogue of that. And whether that meant anything like that or not I don't think it's the case. It's just the wider implications because, Marvel's, I don't want to say too meta about their stuff, but when we're starting to get into like multiverse and, all that weird cosmic stuff, there's room for a little bit of meta stuff going on.
Right.
And one of those is that, they made everyone a variant. So even if when Spider-Man 3 comes out, even if we don't see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, it doesn't matter anymore now.
Yeah.
Because they are canon, they're just not, and I don't know, that's my big linking theory to it. I think that's, at least that's how I'm going to always look at it in my head. And I feel like Loki is a very good piece of evidence to prove it now.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
kind of, albeit the same way DC did with the Arrowverse. They did the exact thing. Uh, they were able to, by using the Crisis on Infinite Earths story and breaking into that kind of multiverse. One of the big shock and awes of it was that they made every DC property canon now in the Arrowverse. Everything's happened. All the comic, you know what I mean? All the comic iterations, all the movies, everything original that's got the DC brand on it is a piece of Arrowverse's of its canon. And I think you could easily carry over that same logic and apply it to a lot of the things that get brought up and addressed in Loki. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Next up, Morbius director seemingly spoils big Marvel cameo crossover for the living vampire. Daniel Espinosa seems to have dropped a suggestion that another huge Marvel cameo is happening in the Morbius movie. Kevin Feige may have a tight leash on his filmmakers when it comes to spoilers, but it looks like Sony's Marvel Universe directors don't get quite the same pep talk about secrecy and speaking to the media. Morbius helmer Daniel Espinosa seems to have dropped a venom-shaped ball in a recent interview with Swedish site Moviezine. We've already been given sight of a coming together of Spider-Man villains with Morbius' first trailer showing Michael Keaton's Adrian Toomes, as seen in Spider-Man Homecoming, making an appearance. And while we're awaiting Tom Hardy's return as Eddie Brock in Venom, Let There Be Carnage, The filmmaker looks to have spoiled a future appearance by Venom and Morbius when it arrives in January of 2022. In his Movie Zine interview, when asked about directing big stars, Espinosa said, "It usually feels strange before the day begins when you look at the schedule and stand on the set yourself. When you walk around there, the recording looks just like a Swedish production, but then you look at the schedule and read names like Michael Keaton, Jared Leto, and Tom Hardy, then it feels cool and very exciting. But once you start working, it's exactly the same thing. An actor wants a director, and actors want to be directed."
I mean,
So,
that's a pretty big.
I
Like he
mean,
just flat
yeah,
out said he's in it.
yeah, exactly, right.
Okay.
So, I mean, which to me, like, all right, here's the thing. What the fuck did you expect was going to happen? Like, Sony owns both of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, wouldn't it make sense to, like, because Morbius more or less is an anti-hero to a certain degree, the same way that Venom is sometimes portrayed as an anti-hero, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, wouldn't it make sense to, like, I don't know, make some weird fucked up team
Yeah.
up thing happen in the future, you know? I mean,
I mean,
that's
they're
my
trying to build a
interpretation
little
of it.
thing there, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember the video now, as well as because it's brought up here at the end of the article. If you guys remember, Andy Serkis did a little video about the original trailer. He did like a commentary, which was really cool. And I wish more directors would do that, where a trailer drops and the director has like a bonus thing where the trailer will drop again, but they commentate over it and kind of elaborate a little more on some of the scenes that you're seeing.
Yeah.
And instead of necessarily leaving yourself up to speculation, you have that coupled with, okay, you kind of get a better understanding of what the director's like. It's like just it makes
It's
makes his
nice.
message a little. Yeah, it was really cool. It was insightful. It was neat seeing a director explain their movie without spoiling it,
Yeah.
which is really cool. Um, but it gets brought up here in the final paragraph. It says, that Circus has already hinted that we could get to see a number of villains making brief appearances in the movie when Eddie Brock pays a visit to Ravencroft Institute for the criminally insane. And I feel like that shot in the trailer, because he was also bringing up he, about that shot. He was like, I can't go into a lot of detail about these particular scenes. And I feel like it's his way of going, this is where all my cameos are going to take place in the
Yeah.
film.
Because it may just be a
Because,
quick,
yeah, because you
just a
can't,
cameo, just to connect the
yeah,
universe. But
you, you can't pack the cooler with too many cold ones, or you won't have room for the ice. And
yeah,
so you don't do
that's
that
pretty
with
good, Trav.
like
Yeah.
you don't do it with your films either. So I
Yeah.
feel like, and it's something we've often like kind of talked about and spitballed to one another over all these superhero films, and particularly with Batman. You have moments where it's like leave it in Arkham, to where he's going to talk to Luther, but that's how we get a Two-Face cameo or a Riddler cameo or in any of the Rogues Gallery out that hasn't been shipped off to. Isn't Blackgate the maximum security prison in DC, or is that no, the Raft is in Marvel. Blackgate is Batman in DC. So yeah, you have it where I feel like that's this way of being like, if you're gonna see any of these people, it's probably gonna be in the scene where they go, where Eddie Brock goes to talk to Venom
Yep.
or to Woody Harrelson, or
You see Mobius
what,
there, and
yeah, or whatever moment where maybe later in the film they have to go back to Ravencroft or something. That's where you see some more shit.
just enough to let you know they're connected.
Yeah,
It's in the same
enough to say,
universe.
enough to be like, stick around. There's more story to tell.
Yeah.
Even though I think Andy Serkis directing this movie, because I keep forgetting that he
Yeah,
directs
that's
is doing this
crazy.
movie.
Yeah,
I
right.
truly, I mean, it makes me want to be hyped. But I'm trying to keep everything on ice still, because like they're dealing with Carnage, one of my favorite Marvel villains ever. One of the first ones that I ever was like, this is my guy, my bad guy that I enjoy, you know.
Contingency 88.
Well, because I've always compared it that Carnage is the Joker of the Marvel universe. He's one of the few Marvel villains that is just pure fucking evil. And so I've been interested how they would ever handle him being on screen because it's Marvel property. Marvel has an image. They let things get dim, but it never goes full dark in a way. But yeah, I hope the movie's good, man. Those last two trailers that have come out over the past year have been cool. I've enjoyed it. I've been surprised that they went as far as to be like, we're just gonna show them in the trailer. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I always kind of figured that the big reveal and on screen, thing of Carnage would be something that's like, you're gonna wait until you watch the movie. So, um, I mean, what do you guys think Sony's getting at with this whole villain verse that they're building up? Because if rumors are to be believed, we're more or less going to get a really weird light version of the Sinister Six and Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
So it makes me think less that Sony is trying to do a Sinister Six series and more of just Marvel bad guys, the franchise.
Well, they got to take advantage of what Marvel's doing for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could
Like
see where
handing
this
it to
is.
them on that silver platter, where it's like, here you go, man.
Well,
We
while
got you set
Marvel's
up. Don't
building,
ruin it.
it would be a dream if Marvel, if in their talks, if Sony and Marvel had their talks, and Marvel was like, look, we're gonna let you in on the secret sauce a little bit. And here's what we're doing. Here's what we're building up. We're introducing the multiverse, all this kind of stuff. This is the point where we can hand Spider-Man back to y'all. And like Griffin said in the previous episode, we're going to put it in a nice fucking shiny bow on top and hand it to you, and just don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
But while they're having those conversations, I don't think it's far-fetched to think that somebody had to have an exchange where it's like, well, how about this? Marvel, you're good at the hero shit. So we're going to let you build up Spider-Man. We're going to let you make Tom Holland be a household name, work on the branding of Spider-Man, and really just drive it in that, like, fucking Spider-Man, y'all. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back because Spider-Man is one of the most beloved characters in Marvel, if not the most. With that being said, if any hero and his rogues gallery is going to be deserving of a full fleshed out characterization of all these different people, if it's not Batman, it's Spider-Man that deserves it. And it would be interesting if Sony built up the villains by doing these movies, do it in a way to where they're all one shots, save for the Venom franchise or whichever movies make enough money to warrant more films. But have these little one shots, as I'll call them, where you link everything. Doesn't necessarily build up to anything, but like, hey, we're sharing the same house. And then when Marvel hands Spider-Man back to Sony, well, the audiences have been watching Marvel Studios stuff. They've been tuning into our things. Now we can make these really fucking good Spider-Man movies with well-established characters and villains with motives for both, and you can write really good like drama to it.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for any director and a camera to fucking shoot somebody running in front of a green screen and make it look like he's running from the world's fucking worst fucking house fire ever, Like anyone can do that with a little bit of knowledge. But being able to craft that around a story that makes not only comic fans happy, but makes the general audiences enjoy it and want to watch someone in spandex fucking shoot webs out of his hand. It's a good recipe for success, I think. And I feel like that conversation had to be had. Because why not just do the double whammy of two companies handling a massive IP, split it down the middle, be like, hey, here's Spider-Man and some characters, and hey, we're gonna make the bad guys. And it would make for such a good viewing experience because the moment when you see Spider-Man and Venom finally square off, who you root for?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have you'll have just as much compassion for Eddie Brock as you would Peter Parker. So that clash would actually like it would resonate and it would make the action have more weight on it.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to go off on tangents tonight, gentlemen. I know that's probably rant number 6, but
No, I mean, I get what you're saying. And at the end of the day, it's like, what can they do and where can they go? And what is the end motivations for this? And we won't actually know probably until halfway through this current, phase 5, actually what's going on with everything. Because who knows? Like, it may be a handshake deal to where you do have both parties setting things up. The multiverse thing is happening, and things are going to start coming together in bigger and better ways. Then again, it could just be a cash grab for Sony to try to keep as much of the property under their thumb as they possibly can.
right. And there's always that, man, because at the end of the day, we both know that as like, and I'm sure like like everybody that the only reason we have movies like Doctor Strange, the only reason we have movies like Black Panther, or the Infinity Saga in general, is because they make a lot of money.
Yeah.
If like there wouldn't be a thing where if Iron Man didn't make $1 billion fucking dollars, there wouldn't have been those other films. If it had just been a typical run of the mill action movie or whatever, and
Yeah.
it would have still been a good film, if it had not made money, we'd have gotten Iron Man 2 and 3 maybe, but we wouldn't have gotten anything.
Yeah. So to me, it feels like Sony's just trying to throw whatever they can at the wall and see what sticks and run with it.
Well, they did good with that first.
Yeah.
What you call it?
Yeah,
I'm
I
just-
agree. Venom.
It was just Venom.
Yeah.
It was good.
Just until the moment where Sony can bring Spider-Man in on some of these villain films, though, it's going to be very apprehensive to like watch them because we're watching these bad guys become who they are, but the linchpin for it is Spider-Man, and we still have yet to have that. The most we've gotten out of any kind of any link to it at all was the poster of Spider-Man behind Morbius in the fucking trailer.
Yeah.
That's the most we've got. I know there's like some dialogue in Venom that you can interpret as them referencing Spider-Man, but still, he doesn't ever get name dropped.
Yeah. We'll see what they end up doing with it. It could be anything, really.
I think another thing to add to the actual movie, though, Let There Be Carnage. I'm interested where it's going to go because I feel like if they're going to exclude Spider-Man, then it's like this movie is going to brush up on some of Maximum Carnage's high points. And then it's going to venture off possibly into just straight up Venom versus Carnage. And I feel like that's a hard movie to make because of the subject matter of Venom versus Carnage. And that being that it's the concept that Carnage wants to kill his offspring. He wants to more or less perform an abortion. And that being the central plot narrative of a movie for superhero movies, I just feel like that's I feel like people have seen the backlash of the references that like Black Widow makes in one of the Infinity War films where she talks about how the Red Room more or less sterilizes the women.
Right.
I feel like those are topics that are touchy to a point where it's very risky to bring that discussion into something that is gonna for all the depth it may or may not have. It's a movie that children will be watching. And I know that opens up a whole topic for discussion, and I'm not trying to go that way or whatever. I just feel like that's the tricky, touchy thing with Carnage is that there's aspects of his story that, touches on some pretty crazy shit.
Yeah.
Was that Venom movie? Wasn't it rated R?
No, it was supposed to be rated R, and then it got a change at the end.
Oh, yeah, it's PG-13.
Because one thing we pointed out in that review was
That's
the
right. We were
scene
talking
where
about that last week.
the scene where he's going through the town and slicing everybody up, and there's like no blood
Yeah.
at all, like in attacks that like visually it wouldn't be gore for gore's sake. It would be, no, he took a tendril to dude's throat, like it's gonna look nasty.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, man.
Yeah. And well, that's all the news I saw that was kind of interesting. Did y'all see anything else that was worth mentioning?
What was it that I watched the other day? It'll probably come back to me, man. I watched something the other day that I was trying to remember to tell you guys about, but I messed up and started watching Evangelion, and that's like a Alex Jones rant put into an anime, so it kind of turns your brain into jelly when you watch it a
Fried
little.
your brain.
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm ready for some trailers.
Akira level animation though, it's badass. Anyway, yeah, trailer time.
So I was looking for some movies to watch, and we missed this trailer when it came out. But I ran across the movie and I was like, what's this movie? Playing God. So I look up the trailer and watch it and I'm like, oh, yeah, I want to see that. So I put the trailer in here.
Yeah.
It's got old
Oh,
dude in it.
Alan Tudyk.
Yeah,
Tudyk.
it's an interesting
Stills
idea.
he steals the show on Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
We got a
for
Doom
sure.
Patrol trailer.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready on Playing God. This is out, by the way.
Let's peep it.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. I don't know how these trailers slip through the cracks.
That is Sudeikis though.
It's a con. It's a heist movie.
Yeah.
Look who's playing God.
Holy shit. A movie about the world's dumbest man.
Looks pretty good.
Oh, you guys, yeah, we were talking about Doom Patrol a minute. Like jumping back to Suicide Squad real quick. I had a thought the other day when I was watching it. You literally could have replaced the Suicide Squad with the Doom Patrol, and the movie still would have worked.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there was just something that I noticed. I was like, this felt very Doom Patrol-ish to me as well, because like it had a lot of fucking comedy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just something I remember.
We got our first.
We got the Keats in here, huh?
We got two. He's pulling double time.
You're the Keats, dog.
He's like, divorce is a motherfucker. I don't know if he got divorced. I'm just.
Oh, and in that trailer we just watched, you know who hasn't been in a lot of films lately that would have been perfect as a character in that film? Ed Helms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where the fuck did he go?
Counting his
He's
money,
counting
dude.
his counting his office money.
I feel like there's a juicy bit we're missing on that guy. I mean, it's probably something as simple as that. He probably just cashed out.
Well, you know, there was a while there where he was in a bunch of movies after The Hangover blew up.
Yeah,
And then, you
like
know,
that's what
people
I'm
start to
saying.
get a little fatigue on a character. Because then the movie's like,
yeah,
you know, at first they're doing good. Then it starts to, oh, they're not doing so good.
well, you
It's
can
like
only
you
play
just
the
get too
same
much Ed
person so
Helms.
many times. Yeah, but like he would have fit perfect in that movie.
I think
though.
the
It's like
last one I saw him in was the Vacation movie.
yeah, I could have seen. I could easily have seen him as any of those characters in that comedy we just watched.
Oh, this got Stanley Tucci in it too.
Oh man, he's gonna tell him that you can't just do something because he's always doing that in movies. He's always like, you can't just walk right into the head boss's office. Like the main character's like, "What? You
No,
bet
dude.
your ass
Michael
I
Keaton's
can."
like, I keep doing it and it keeps getting better every single time. Yeah, ready?
Like Michael Keaton does that classic stare at one way for another and then stare him in the eyes. He goes, I'm just gonna talk to him for a second. That's all. I'm just gonna talk to him.
Y'all two better get up. Y'all gonna be late for work.
Stanley comes out and he goes, you can't just look him in the eye like that.
All right, I'm ready. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
3, 2, 1, play.
Oh shit, there is something on the wing. Oh, I'm already sold, dude.
Ooh.
Is this a hunt down movie?
Well, he's the lawyer negotiating the settlements. It's a case of a lifetime right there, dude.
He's about to Alexander Shinar the fuck out of this. Like he's about to in litigation terms tell these motherfuckers. I mean, he's about to tell him he's Iron Man. Like, did he just tell him that he couldn't do that? He's like, you can't just see. You can't just treat them like people, numbers on a sheet. Oh fuck! Who is that? That guy looked familiar. Was that the new guy? Remember him?
I don't think so.
He's got Michael Keaton's got the pursed lips, like I'm paying attention and I'm figuring it out.
I mean, he'll kill it.
There's no worth, just like there's no boundaries that Michael Keaton's not going to cross in this movie. That was a worthy trailer. This is a movie about a lesbian with a pitcher's mitt for a vagina.
Is that one of the comments?
No, I just saw the name and I thought that.
Catch the bullet.
Scissor edition. I mean,
all right, here we go.
Enough dildo jokes.
3, 2, 1, play. Scissor edition.
Oh shit! Are we getting what we've been wanting? Wanting? Oh, is this a classic? He's looking for the man who shot his paw.
Oh shit! Why didn't they put his name in the? Put him away again.
Red Dead Redemption.
What was it? No bullet can kill fucking.
HBO took a hit. Westworld looks like shit now. Nah, but he's gonna kill you and take all your $2. Oh no! Get this music out of here. It's trash, dude.
That one dude looks like who's the guy in Frequency? The dad.
Bill Paxton.
He's like, was it Bill Paxton?
Yeah, I think.
Thinking of the wrong person now.
Oh, no,
Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah, he's like discount Dennis Quaid. See? Dennis Quaid was busy.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I know everything I need to know after watching that trailer.
I mean, keep your Imagine Dragons fandom out of the movie trailer. More Keats.
More Keats.
Oh, serving it up for your dope sick ass. Is this his old man heroin movie?
Either that or it's his kid or something that's on it.
Or like it's some weird name of a file. They're like, I'm trying to figure out what's in this file. Dopesick.zip.
.exe. All right. 3, 2, 1, play. Oh shit.
Shit. So gotta watch it. Oh, he's gonna get all these motherfuckers addicted, dude. he's gonna make a fortune, and he's gonna have the dilemma of like,
He looked at it like, let me try it.
oh, these people are gonna get fucked up. Good cast, man, all around. We got the doll as the DEA.
You know, this is the same company that recently got in trouble for selling the pills, and then they sold the treatment to get you off of them.
I mean, it looks like a show where the dude, the Keats is a treat, dog. He's the icing. Dude from Gotham's in here, and that looks good. And I mean, his shit looks badass, man.
Oh, that was Peter's. I was like, which Skarsgård is that?
Occupation Rainfall.
Sci-fi movie.
Trailer 2.
Yeah, I think we watched the first trailer.
Yeah, really all.
3,
do it.
2, 1, play.
Our citizens finally going public. They were the resistance fighters. Brought a kinetic weapon to a laser gun fight.
I tell you, man, that Lionsgate car just doesn't mean what it used to mean.
No,
You
dude.
know?
It's a shame. What?
Okay. So long, gay boys.
You tried to fuck on me? This looks like a Chinese action film.
God damn.
It's like we're gonna be an alien invasion film, but we're gonna turn into Deep Impact at the end.
The little flying saucers kind of look like the spaceships from Men in Black. Nope,
I mean,
not Men in Black.
is it a film I would go watch in
Independence Day.
theaters? Clearly not. Is it a movie I'd probably eat a sandwich to on a Sunday afternoon? Possibly. Either way, I'm not probably having a good time.
War movie.
Let's check it out.
The War Below. All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Wait, wrong era.
40,000. I'd say. They're gonna tunnel up under them.
Another goddamn plan that didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Tunnel.
1917 set the bar too high for World War One now. It's my duty. It's my duty to answer to that booty.
There's always generals standing around in a library drinking scotch. God damn the war below.
God damn it, it's the only plan I've got. The enemy could be anywhere, but they're digging a straight tunnel.
Yeah, it's gonna collapse.
They're gonna spend way more time in that tunnel than this trailer is giving us. And are we gonna get a No Man's Land charge moment?
We're down in hell. Ooh. That was a nice little line. If I'm standing out there and he says that to me, I'm like, what's all this wee shit? You're gonna sit right back here and chill.
Motherfucker, I was learning to be a chemist and y'all yanked me out of school for this.
We may not go down in history. We will
Is this
change
the
the
sequel?
bloody... What?
Is this the sequel to Lucy here?
Possibly.
Lucy, Kate.
I like that plot twist. All right, let's see what Kate's up to. Johnny Kate plus 8. 3,
When
2.
Kate must. No,
What's
we're
that?
good.
3, 2, 1, play.
When Kate has to rescue all 8 of her children. What? This is Phantom's backstory from Rogue Company.
The Yakuza.
So she's a crack shot that's got to, like, Stella got to get her groove back with the gun.
Well, she's got that long to live, so she's gonna take that motherfucker out. Suicide Squad in it.
Oh, is she gonna get her hallway scene? Yeah. Oh. Mm.
She looks familiar. Figure out what I've seen her in. Oh, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah.
Gemini Man, Birds of Prey, Cloverfield Lane. That one too. Who's the chick that was in there with him?
Why does she look like Paul Dano?
It is. That's how good he
And
is.
God damn it. You know? There's no time like the present. Oh.
I bet Woody Harrelson's character is a bad guy.
Bullshitting her the whole movie.
Yeah, I think he's in on it.
Yeah. He'll do something like, I thought this plan was going to work out the way I planned it.
He'll be able to take out the other boss and her at the same time. You know what I mean?
You agree? Yeah, like I feel like there'll be a scene with her like mustache twirling, come out of a corner, being like, "You go south, Kate." I did what I had to do. Woody Harrelson's always saying that. I did what I had to do
And nose
for
breathing.
my man.
Kate.
You
Like
don't
he
know the
talks through his
disappointment.
nose.
Yeah.
He always sounds like he's got an allergy infection.
It's like he's waiting to hock a loogie. Do the spit before he says something witty, like
Somebody in the comments just said is he really 91? Is that real? No way.
There's no way.
Dude, he's 91 years old.
Woody?
No. The next movie. Clint Eastwood.
Oh, Clint Eastwood?
Dude,
Oh.
goddamn.
I was like,
You're like, there's no way Woody Harrelson's 90.
No.
Clint Eastwood's 91? God damn, did he direct this one too? Let me see. I bet he directed. He directed it. I think it's adapted from a book. Yep.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Oh, he's all about those book adaptations.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. The last one I saw him in, I liked. The Mule.
Yeah.
That was good. I was gonna say before the pills and the booze and they beat me. Oh shit. Y'all know who that is, don't you?
Oh yeah. He was like, "Hell yeah, I'll make a movie with Clint Eastwood."
It ain't like I can go on tour right now. 91 years old. He's not angry. That's how he talks. I used to be younger. The boy can play with the car. He's gonna fuck that dude up. Yeah, right. He sounds dehydrated. Can we get Clint a glass of water on the set?
The old man's gonna be a badass and he's gonna get shot. It'll make the little kid change his ways.
Hmm. He still got it.
Oh, dude. I
Good to see
mean,
he's still making movies, man.
yeah, dude.
I was watching a documentary the other day. It's about a director, and they're interviewing everybody from Clint Eastwood to Sylvester Stallone. This guy made movies in the '80s, you know, and there's a clip of Clint Eastwood, and he's like, he didn't make movies for pussies. I was like, okay,
Jesus.
all right. This guy's name, Gerard Butler. See, that's like it happened with him, man. He had that blow up, And then they just started pumping movies out with him, and then people just kind of got the little fatigue from it. Kind of,
Yeah.
it happens when they, put too many out. But I'm ready. You guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready, Trav?
Yeah.
3,
Yeah.
2, 1, play. Cop shop. Okay. Kind of got a little Guy Ritchie feel to it.
Like these
Yeah.
people, it's like they're trying to see who John McAfee's the other.
Mhm.
It's like a weird comedic assault on Precinct 13.
This is the guy that directed Smoking Aces.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. Okay.
So it's a people heist movie.
Jesus.
So when I glanced at his IMDb, the next movie he's got coming out after this is The Raid, based on the 2011 The Raid.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Was it
he's
worth
certainly
it?
he's certainly not going to be doing Muay Thai or
Yeah.
whatever fucking martial art that dude was wielding.
Yeah.
Now they'll get Rogan in there.
It'll be
We're doing the
well. I mean,
jiu-jitsu.
if they if they if they can't go a martial artist route with it, it needs to be heavy, realistic gunfights, like just you know,
Yeah.
a lot of good camera work. Like just make it visually appealing because it just seems like it's probably going to be Tower of Death America edition where they just shoot their way to the top.
Check that top comment out for Why the Last Man. Hmm.
Looking. Uh,
All right, Why the Last Man. Trav, you seen this trailer?
no. And I'm not familiar with the source material, so
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. The He Woman Man Haters Club. All the men are dying. Did y'all lose audio on that?
I did too.
Yeah.
Could be because
The
of
music.
Yeah.
There, it came back. Look, it's one guy left, and he's got a monkey. He's got a lot of work to do. Yeah, dude. You're the only guy.
What?
He's gonna be laying some pipe. So, what they need to do, stat, is get him to a facility and hand him a porn book and a cup and be like, do your thing. We need as much as possible.
Yeah. Get at it.
I've never read the comic it's based on, so I wonder how fucked up it gets. Because wasn't it more specifically, was it a manga?
I don't know.
No,
I think it
I
was a
think it
book.
was. Yeah, I think it was a comic.
Well, either way.
This is a man's world. Not anymore. Check that thumbnail out.
Yeah, right.
All right, little creepy little double feature. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, play. I haven't seen any of the American Horror Story, but I've heard good things.
They're hit and miss.
What's happening there?
Remember, the creators of Glee did this.
Looks kind of fucking American Horror Story.
The show was always hit and miss with me. There was just because it was anthological. Uh, there were some seasons that were really good and interesting, and then there were some that were like, this wasn't aimed at me.
Doom Patrol.
Like I believe it's the second season. It deals with like alien abduction, mixed with like crazy asylum type of thing going on, and it was really well done. I definitely recommend season 2 if you are to ever watch any of it.
Right.
Yeah. Doom Patrol.
All right, 3, 2, 1, play. Feels like it's been forever.
I know.
Yeah, dude, that's Suicide Squad as fuck.
Yeah.
This is the first season under the new network.
Showing the same trailer? Yeah, it's showing the same trailer.
I mean, looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or dinner in America.
No comments.
Wonder what they're having. Bet it's hamburger helper.
Probably.
Either that or pizza.
Yeah. Most definitely pizza.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, play.
With Pepsi.
Huh? Damn, they whipped his ass. I still don't know what's happening. But damn. All right.
It makes me think there's a show that Deidre found a while back. It's definitely geared to more female audiences, but it's this comedy show called Pen 15.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could see the joke in the title, but it just follows quirky teenage girl going through crazy shit in her life, and this looks very reminiscent of that. Or you could probably twist it around and be like, this is like female Napoleon Dynamite.
When I started watching the trailer, I was like, it's got like Napoleon Dynamite kind of vibes.
I'm sure it's a good movie. I'm sure it's indie as shit, clearly, but you know, I know where to throw it on the shelf.
Yeah.
With the precision of a card throwing TikToker.
Not too far away from the Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah, about 2 shelves up from the trash. Sorry, I thought it was a good joke.
All right,
Nah.
Mad Guy.
Let's do it.
This is like stop motion animation. All right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, this is gonna be cool.
Like a Tool music video.
This has got to be. This is pod locked. We have to watch this, guys.
Shit looks crazy.
Oh man, this guy's been going through some shit.
Not one word was said.
That's got to be on the pile. If its
Oh,
availability is around, I'm fully down to watch that.
yeah, it looks good, man.
I crave the more weird artsy movies, man. Like
Yeah, this
I
guy said
dig
the
it.
kind of cinema madness we don't get enough of. But yeah,
That was the
Cool.
best trailer of the night, dude.
Yeah. So, what are we gonna watch next week?
I don't know. We've already watched what we had on our little list there. Remove these. I have to find something.
Consult the archives, Adam.
Is that Benicio del Toro movie available?
Let's see. It says streaming on HBO Max July the 1st. Yeah.
Y'all
No
want to?
sudden move.
Yeah, y'all want to peep that?
Yeah, let's make sure real quick that it wasn't some 30-day bullshit. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see it. We watched the trailer and enjoyed it.
Yeah. Steven
yeah.
Soderbergh. Yeah.
That's it.
Let's check it out.
This concludes our podcast episode. Happy juice. Ding. Yeah, checks in the mail.
Oh yeah.